Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Autoglym, one of the world's largest detailing manufacturers, have just released in their UHD ultra high definition range this ceramic coating kit. We're going to be reviewing it in this video. Also in their Polar Series range, Polar Series is their snow foam Polar Blast, their Lance delivered Polar Wash contact shampoo, and their spray sealant Polar Seal. For that range, they are now accompanying it with the Polar Blaster Snow Foam Lance. In this video, we're going to be reviewing both products.
I'm wondering what you got for me. Come on. Egyptian cutter, sound to be I'm wondering what you got for me. Egyptian cutter, sound to be
Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Today we are reviewing the new ultra high definition ceramic coating. It's just been released from Autoglym. What do you get then, guys, for your money? Now at the moment this product is on sale for 45 quid, but the RRP is listed 60. Autoglym prices always vary, and Halfords seem to rotate deals where they do 20 to 25% off Autoglym products, and then next month they'll do it at Maguire's and stuff like that. So if you want to get the best price, buy it when it's got a little discount thing going. It's very well presented, guys. Autoglym have lots of products that just sit on the shelf in Halfords and stuff like that, but this ultra high definition range, it comes really well packaged. In fact, probably the best packaged detailing products I've seen, probably up there. I'm just trying to think if that statement's wrong. Geon can match them on some of their packaging that I've seen. I can't think of anyone else. You tell me in the comments if anyone packages stuff as well as this. For some people that doesn't mean anything, but I think when it's like a premium product, you know, when it comes in no packaging whatsoever, it's not that premium, and not many brands are able to do this kind of bespoke packaging because it costs a hell of a lot of money, and you need all the equipment to make all this boxing and stuff, and you know there's all special molded plastics inside here that these bottles fit into. It all costs money. You've got this frosted glass box that seals up, and the microfiber cloths are inside, so they can't get any contamination on the microfiber and things like that. It's the little details that I really appreciate. You get a full set of instructions in every language known to man or beast. It's starting to sound like a commercial. You also get a very, very high quality applicator that's dual foam. So you've got a stiff bit of foam on the top side, so it gives it a bit of structure. You've got soft foam, really soft, so it takes up the shape of the car panels and when you're going over edges and stuff like that. But then you have a layer of suede, and that's where you install the product on. And that suede just glides over the, or it might be microfiber, you know, suede microfiber, but it glides over the car panel. It's one of the best applicators I've seen. They've thought about something as well. They created like a point on it. And what you can do is you can put a line of product when you're applying it, rather than a line all the way down, you can put a line on one of the edges if you're working on a section of panel and you want to make sure you can get the product right up to the edge. It's just a brilliant applicator. I don't know if you can buy these separately, but I'd be interested in buying these on their own as well. Really, really good. And that's it. You also get 100ml, I believe, of their preparation panel white product, which is a degreaser product, which you're going to use after you've polished the paintwork. You can then do a final wipe down with the preparation product to remove any oils or greases or remnants of old waxes and sealants that are on your car. Then, after that, you're ready to apply the ceramic coating itself, and you get 100ml of the ceramic coating. You could probably do a car in about 50ml, maybe even less. You might be able to juice 3 cars out of this. But I would suggest you don't skimp on it, but you also don't want to overload it. So, who knows, 100ml? What do you reckon, guys? At least you'll do more than 1 car. So let's say at least 2 cars, 3 might be possible. So next up, guys, how do you install this? Ensure the vehicle is clean, dry and free of contaminations. It is recommended to wash the car thoroughly with a car shampoo. Remove any fallout with a fallout remover or clay bar. We'll talk about that in a second. And for the perfect finish, light scratches and swirl marks should be removed using a suitable polish, you know, a scratch remover. So polish it ideally. And guys, while we're here, we actually prepared the car using the Autoglym product. So we've taken this new Autoglym snow foam lance, and I did a quick demo video of this the other day, just showing it in use. It's brand spanking new. The foam that comes out of it when you're using the Polar Blast at 5:1, you know, it's quite a high concentrate, but it is very thick foam, so that's great. The coolest thing about this, guys, is the bottle that it comes in has a wide top, so you don't need a funnel to fill it up. You can just tip your products in there. And it also has a wider base, so it's less likely to fall over. And they put the mix ratios for Polar Blast, Polar Wash and Polar Seal on there, which is going to come in useful. This thing feels really, really high quality. It feels well made, it feels heavy. We'll do a comparison of millions of snow foam lances at some point. I'll buy more and build up a collection. You've got the MTM one coming out and all that sort of stuff, and we'll compare them all if you like. For the time being, this is on sale for 30 quid, which I think is a good price. You have these PA lances, which are typically 40 quid, and you have these very kind of cheap Chinese lances, which still work. They work fine for sort of 10 to 14 quid. This at 30 quid seems like a fair price to me. I'm trying to keep this very quick. What don't I like about this product? There is one thing Autoglym missed that I would have personally wanted on here, and that is a scale on the side of the bottle. So I've put a little line there for how much Polar Blast makes 100 ml, but I realised I would need another line so I know where 500 ml is, but I can put that in. That's the only thing that's missing. Otherwise, you should check it out, guys. It comes with fitments for either your K series or Quick Connect by default. So if you've upgraded to the gun, this can go straight on your gun. If you've got a K series Karcher, then you can just pop that on there and connect that end you'll recognise to your K series. Away you go. We covered the car with Polar Blast at 5:1, making a massive thick snow foam, which was fun, guys. We blasted that off. We then covered it in Polar Wash, did the contact wash, and had one rinse bucket with the wash mitt in. We blasted all the residue off, left the car wet at this stage, and then we used their liquid clay product, and we used that with a clay cloth. So I just spritzed some liquid clay over the wet car, semi-wet car, you know, after I've rinsed it, and then clayed it while the liquid clay was reacting with the fallout remover and shrinking it, so they're making the clay process more effective. So as you shrink that contamination, it will make it easier to dislodge when you go and do your clay. So that worked well. You have to be careful doing that on a very sunny day with fallout removers. You just want to keep an eye on them, you don't want them to dry. So I was kind of using the Autoglym liquid clay as a bit of a clay lube and a reactive fallout remover, as I've just explained. We then dried the car off, and that process, guys, start to finish, washing the car and all that for preparation, took less than an hour, and that was great, okay? So then we wheel the car into the garage, dry it off, and we're ready to either polish the car. And if you want to polish your car, guys, to refine the paint, gloss it up, get rid of swirl marks and stuff like that, Autoglym have got a one-stage polish that's been around for ages, the Rapid Renovator, and they also have down there the Rapid Renovator Plus, which is a slightly higher cut version of that. So they've got two products. You can effectively combo them up as a two-stage, so you could cut with the Rapid Renovator Plus and then refine with the Rapid Renovator, or you could use either one on its own. You know the score with all these polishes. So that's slightly for the advanced user, and then when you finish polishing, you would go and do your preparation with the UHD high definition preparation panel wipe style product. We are then ready to apply the ceramic coating, providing the car is all, you know, you might give it one final wipe down, make sure there's no water kicking around or running out of the wing mirrors and all that sort of stuff. Next up, guys, thoroughly wipe down all the surfaces of the paintwork with this UHD preparation product to remove this kind of residue or the remnants of existing waxes or sealants or the polishing oils if you polish the car. So you've got a squeaky clean surface. Apply the product directly to the preparation cloth, which is the green one, and then wipe over the paintwork systematically in straight lines, ensuring all areas intended are coated with the preparation fluid. Okay, so you'll see that thin layer of it there. Then you can flip your cloth or use another cloth if you've got piles of them. Wipe away any remaining residue with a dry part of the preparation cloth. Turning the cloth regularly to avoid saturation. Okay, so that's prepped the surface, the whole thing. Take your time when you're doing the preparation. It's important, you know, if a clean surface means the product will be able to bond properly. So, okay guys, before you begin now applying the coating, carefully plan your application process. Yeah, it's worth just thinking about it, guys. They suggest here a 50 by 50 section, average size panel. So a wing, do a wing at a time. The bonnet, maybe break it into 4 sections depending on the size. That sort of thing. So you can spread it and work one area, you know, rather than trying to rush and apply it over the whole side of a car and then quickly try and buff it and miss bits. If you rush with things like this, things go wrong very rapidly. So take your time and work in smaller sections. Once you apply the product, it will begin to evaporate. So it's solvent-based, you know, solvent carried, if you like, product. When the product appears to have formed small beads and the film is beginning to form, this is the time to buff off the products. Okay, on warmer days this will take 1 to 2 minutes. On cooler days, 3 to 5 minutes. So, you know, you've got to keep an eye on that. The maximum time here seems to be 5 minutes. That gives you a good idea. So perhaps don't leave it longer than that. I think you're going to see a wet product when you put it down. You know, like almost laying a thin layer of oil over there, and then you'll start to see it kind of dry. That's the thing to keep an eye out from. I've also, as part of this installation, put it on a test panel and left it for like 10-15 minutes. And if you do that, it's going to go a little bit hazy and be very stiff and sticky to buff. I did still manage to buff it to a shine, but if you ever apply it too long, you can then just put a little bit more of the product back over that area, and the solvents in that product, a bit like with ceramic coatings, will loosen it back up again, and then you can kind of wait and then buff it again. So you've got that safety net if you do leave it a little bit too long. You shouldn't have to use this. The trick is to not use too much product. As long as you've laid a film and you can see you've laid that film, you're fine. You don't want it all, this thing, where is it? You don't want this applicator loaded up with product so you've got like a really wet layer of it there. That is going to give you, that's not the best way to apply it in my opinion. Okay, apply UHD coating in straight lines using the UHD ceramic applicator, taking care not to apply too much UHD ceramic coating. After applying to one average size panel, allowing appropriate curing time, buff well using the red finishing cloth. So you don't need to buff with massive amount of pressure, but you want a clean, glossy panel where you can't see any product. It just looks like a nice panel, but you're not buffing with high pressure. You know, you'll get the idea. Just move the microfiber over it. Light on the area that you're working on, as always, is very, very important. Rebuff, as I've said, any missing sections. So once you've coated all intended areas and buffed, change position of the car to view the paintwork in different lighting. There we go. Before performing a spot check, rebuff any missed sections with the finishing cloth. Finally, allow UHD ceramic coating to fully cure on your car for a minimum of 4 hours. During this time, it should remain out of wet weather and environments with high dust or contamination. That's, you know, that's a good thing for them to tell you. So try and keep it just sitting there, you know, so this stuff can harden off. Do not wash the vehicle for 24 hours after application. You shouldn't need to, should you? But again, it's going to achieve full cure after 24 hours and you can wash the car. Note, if the product is left for too long to cure, it may become difficult to remove. If this happens, simply apply more product over a small area and buff immediately. There you go. So remove any excess from plastic or glass with the UHD preparation before it dries. UHD ceramic coating cannot be used on any other surface other than paintwork. Do not use on matte paint. So you have been given all the information on this, guys. And when you're applying it to the applicator, typically you can just tip the product and it will come out quite rapidly and you want to form a line of it. Do not soak the whole applicator in this product. Just one line will do, and then you can apply it in lines. You can cross-hatch as well, guys. Cross-hatching is always a good idea. They don't talk about applying in circles. It's wet enough that you don't need to sort of go in circles like a wax to create that, to spread it. So straight lines, cross hatches is a good way to do it. Okay, we're going to move on to the final part of the video, which is my kind of thoughts on how well this product performs and how viable it is for you at home. First up, guys, I always go through my new usage notes that I write whenever I install a new product. Another observation is it doesn't specify which side of the applicator to use. Some of you might be laughing and thinking that's me being silly. You know, I've worked out that it was the microfiber side, but some people might not. So I think they could have just specified that. Maybe they have somewhere, but I didn't see it and it was a question. Another note, applicator is awesome, brilliant. Another observation, as you're working your way around the car, you're putting more product on this applicator. It becomes a little bit stickier as that product that's sitting there can dry up a little bit. So I noticed that can happen with ceramic coatings as well. And you can change, like, you know, you can put another microfiber suede thing over the block, whereas with this you can't. But it wasn't a major problem, it's just an observation. Use eyewear. Don't use too much. That's the more you put on. The more that's on there, if it over cures, it will be harder to buff. So don't use too much. Just try and get a minimum amount to form a film. Is my tip. Okay, guys. Pros and cons. Let's do the pros first. Instructions with this product are easy to follow, very well written, very comprehensive. And fantastic, and I've followed the instructions. I've used all the Autoglym products. I've got good results with minimal negative comments in terms of actually getting this thing installed. What have I written there? Great applicator, easy to install. No rock solid prints. What does that mean? Oh, no rock solid prints. So sometimes with a ceramic, you can get high spots that go hard, and you might spot it the next day after you've installed. You shouldn't do, but you have to machine those back off again. You won't get rock hard high spots because this is not the same sort of material as a ceramic coating. I'm going to talk about that later on. So it's a bit more forgiving. Okay, now we're going to move on to the negatives. My first negative, these are going to sound unusual, but I just had the question when I got this product, what is it? What is it? Because I've got a limited understanding of some of the materials that go into these products. And I've never seen a ceramic coating like this before. And now my understanding of ceramic coatings is when they first come out, the first generational wave of ceramic coatings that came out of the Far East were utilising a particular material that I've talked about before on the channel, a form of liquid inorganic polysilazane resin. You can identify that product because it's carried in a butyl ether that has this kind of minty sort of, well, minty's not the right word, you can just recognise it after you've smelled it a few times. It's kind of like a sharp, weird smell, but not like a mineral spirit. It's quite funky. That polysilazane resin, when it's exposed to air, the butyl ether evaporates away, exposing the silane, and then that allows the silane to come in contact with the moisture, the oxygen and the hydrogen in the air, and that causes a state change, so that it's like a silicon and nitrogen coating that state changes. The carrier is like a fuse which vaporizes away, and then the state change occurs. When the state change occurs, the material that's formed is a rock hard crystalline material. So typically I associate ceramic coating as being in a glass bottle and containing liquid inorganic polysilazane resin, and a key characteristic that will make it a ceramic will be the crunchy crystalline residue at the top of the bottle once it all goes hard. This UHD ceramic coating is not like that. There's no butyl ether. I can smell mineral spirits. And as Autoglym advise, and they do put what it is, it's a form of PDMS and reactive polymers. And I would just like, this might sound pedantic, I would like them to say that it is SI-based material polymers, so that it has some form of ceramic material in it, or otherwise this really could just be described as a paint sealant. Now, This is closer to a ceramic than a lot of things on the market which are described as ceramic. You know, I've reviewed Maguire's hybrid ceramic wax, turtle wax, ceramic spray coating. Every single brand, or virtually every single brand, has a product with the word ceramic in it, which isn't a ceramic. And I'm pretty sure I've criticised some of those brands. Should I criticise Autoglym? Well, by talking about it, I am criticising them, I guess. It doesn't bother me too much, but the short version of all this is that I think a ceramic coating, quite simply, should be in a glass bottle and it should crystallise, and that's a ceramic coating. And I've talked a little bit about more what it is. And if it's not that, then I would like it not to be called a ceramic coating. Call it anything else, but don't call it a ceramic coating. That horse is well and truly bolted though, and Autoglym, a bit like I said with Maguire's about a year ago when they put the hybrid ceramic wax out. I said Maguire's are very late to the party on this. Well, so are Autoglym. And that leads me on to my next negative. Autoglym are late to the party. Now you get lots of Autoglym haters out there that will just criticise anything Autoglym do. But one criticism that gets said about Autoglym that I don't disagree with is that they don't bring out enough products, because their products are good. I have arguments still with friends that just say that all you need is the UHD wax and SRP, and I can argue with them for hours about it, and I understand what they mean. But I like it when Autoglym release products. I think it's healthy for a company to be releasing products, and I would love to see Autoglym releasing more products. Next up, guys, performance testing. I'm going to cut to a little live thing of me measuring gloss on a test panel where I've put one side the ultra high definition wax and the other side the ceramic coating. I'll see you in a second. You got a beautiful... Let's have a look. You got beautiful skin. About 90 and 88 on the R-spec. This is a good area. There's a bit of patchy clear coat there. You can see it where it's running out of clear coat, so I don't really want to measure there. So that was lower. Be careful with these test panels. This is a bit of a battered panel now, so it's not consistent. But I seem to be capping out at about 90 gloss tops and 90 R-spec. I can't get beyond that. Let's have a look at this wax now, take a few readings. Very similar, it's 89.8, 87. This was all polished with the same abrasive, the Rapid Renovator. 87, 86. 88, 87, interesting. I was expecting the wax to be slightly more glossy, to be honest, but 90 and 88. See, I'm getting a bit of variance depending on where I read. So that's similar. Gloss but lower R-spec. 90 gloss, 89. 90, 87. Let's just go back over here. Let's do a couple more. 88, 84. 86, 84. Do one more. 89, 85. So pretty close on gloss, guys, but the UHD ceramic has edged it by a couple of units over the UHD wax. Next up, ease of application, guys. Is the ceramic coating as easy to apply as the ultra high definition wax? No, the wax is easier to apply. You could stick this Autoglym high definition wax on the panel, you could leave it for a week and it's still easy to buff, trust me. It just vapes out into, you have this light crumb on it and it just buffs off beautifully. This, you need to get your timings right, be organised and prep it properly. So the wax is easier to apply than the coating. Next up, slickness. This product claims silky smooth slickness. So we've tested the tilt table thing against the wax, and I'm pleased to say the ceramic coating delivered on lower friction, smoother silky finish than the wax. I expected that. Next up guys, testing hydrophobicity 1 day, 24 hours after a full cure of the ceramic coating versus Autoglym's ultra high definition wax. Had no idea which way this one would go, but the ultra high definition wax for me is highly water repellent, and this has water repellency, but it's average. It's more of a sheeter. So if you were a bead monster, you're either going to want to use the wax or put the wax on top of the ceramic coating. Finally guys, durability. Again, after this full cure, we covered the wax and the ceramic coating in neat Garage Therapy Decon Wash, which is going to attack these protective products. And I left it there for big increments of time. And I'm going to overlay you the footage after, this is probably about an hour and a half's worth of 2 different waves of product just sitting there on the panel, attacking it. And you can see the wax was killed completely, and the ceramic coating is still going, but it was heavily hurt by that very strong alkaline, that strip wash. Now I've tested ultra high definition wax before with strong alkalines, and it can take about 25 hits of it. So, and I know UHD wax can easily do 3 to 6 months depending on how you maintain it. So I can never verify that the ceramic coating does a year without putting it on my car and using it for a year. But with that chemical resistance test, I can infer that the ceramic coating will last longer than the high definition wax. So 6 months to 1 year will be possible, but the fact that the coating is not as hydrophobic means you might not be able to measure it quite as easily. So you might think it's not performing as well with the water behaviour when it is, you know, because it's just not that hydrophobic in my opinion. So those are the performance tests. Overall guys, what are my thoughts on this Autoglym ceramic coating? The most important thing, and the thing that Autoglym always get right, is providing a product which is easy to install and as close to idiot proof as possible. They have delivered on that. I enjoyed putting this product on my car. I'm confident enough to say that I think anyone could do this without being that into their detailing. As long as you follow the very well written instructions, you should be able to get good results. You should be able to get your car looking good. It will put a gloss on your car. It will make the paintwork smooth, and then you can go and maintain it with Autoglym products. The caveat being, if you want cheaper alternative guys, you just go with a paste wax, or if you want a real cheap alternative, you go with the Autoglym extra gloss protection products, which you can pick up for £7. So you have cheap, you have reasonably cheap, and then you have what is essentially relatively expensive, although in line. To give you a good reference point, the CarPro Light ceramic package, which I recommend and I think is a really good product, is 42 quid versus 45 quid. So it's in line. And the kit, this Autoglym kit, has more stuff in it. But it's in line with the market price. That's it for this video guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this guys. Let me know what you think of this review. Is it any use to you? Stuff like that. Are you interested in this product? Do you prefer wax over ceramic? I have to state, as always in all the videos, Autoglym sent me these products and this lance free of charge, so that you can factor in whether or not you think I'm biased when you do the review. If you want the products guys, I will try and find a link for them in the description. They're available from all sorts of places. You can buy them from Autoglym's direct websites, or there's other people selling them and stuff like that. And they're available in Halfords as well. Keep your eye out for discounts and try and get it for closer to 45 quid if you can. Thanks for watching. Take care, subscribe, see you soon.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I when